1 trillion carats of pressurized starlight drift through the silent vacuum of the Cancer Constellation. It holds a concentrated fortune valued at over $26 nonillion. Yet, the extreme internal pressure has compressed this entire world into a solid diamond core. 55 Cancri A, officially named Janssen, orbits its host star at a distance of only 1.4 million miles. This cosmic anomaly challenges everything we believe about how planets survive in the crucible of the observable universe. Number 10. The carbon-rich cradle. Our own solar system was born from an oxygen-rich disk of gas, but the star Copernicus, or 55 Cancri A, had a much darker beginning. This G-type star, remarkably similar to our Sun in appearance, was born in a chemical environment saturated with carbon. This high carbon-to-oxygen ratio meant that when planets like Janssen began to form, carbon devoured all the available oxygen before it could bind with silicon to create the life-giving rocks we find on Earth. Instead of the silicate-rich minerals and quartz found on our world, the protoplanetary disk around Copernicus forged a system of soot and graphite. It is a reminder of how cosmically small we are, existing only because of a specific chemical fluke that didn't happen here. In this system, the building blocks of life were replaced by the building blocks of an eternal crushing hardness. Number 9. The ghost of 2004. On August 30th, 2004, Dr. Barbara MacArthur and her team at the University of Texas first detected a spectral ghost in the darkness. Using the radial velocity method, they observed the star Copernicus wobbling under the gravity of a massive invisible object. For years, Janssen remained a mystery, a hidden weight in the void, until the 2011 transit observations by these missions allowed researchers to witness the planet as it passed in front of its star, revealing a radius that defied logic. They found a planet with a mass of 8.08 Earths squeezed into a radius of only 1.875 Earth units. This extreme density of 5.9 grams per cubic centimeter suggested a world far more compressed than anything in our own solar system, signaling the discovery of a cosmic anomaly that shouldn't exist by our rules of geology. Number 8. The Madhusudhan revelation. In October 2012, Dr. Nikku Madhusudhan, a brilliant astrophysicist of Indian heritage then at Yale, published a study that sparked a global obsession with this alien world. He proposed that Janssen was not a rock and iron world like Earth, but a diamond-rich super-Earth. By analyzing the chemistry of the host star, Madhusudhan and his team estimated that at least 1/3 of the planet's mass, the equivalent of 3 entire Earths, is likely composed of pure carbon in the form of graphite and diamond. This created the diamond planet hypothesis, suggesting that deep beneath its surface, the carbon is compressed into a crystalline lattice billions of times stronger than anything on our planet. This discovery founded the study of carbon-rich geophysical models and confirmed that the universe is far more. It is a place where value is measured in nonillions, yet it remains a gem that would crush a human being instantly under the sheer weight of its own existence. Number 7. The gravity that crushes reality. Janssen is classified as a super-Earth, but that title is a deceptive comfort designed to mask a planetary titan. It holds approximately 8.08 Earth masses within a radius only 1.875 times larger than our home. This is not just a large planet, it is a dense, high-pressure anomaly with a measured density of nearly 5.9 grams per cubic centimeter. If you were to stand on its surface, the gravity would be double that of Earth, pinning your skeleton to the ground with a force that would make every breath an agonizing struggle against your own weight. This extreme mass-to-radius ratio indicates a world packed with heavy, solid materials that defy the standard silicate models we use to understand our own solar system. It is a titanium-strength ball of matter, screaming through the void with a weight that breaks our understanding of how rocks should behave. Number 6. The Nonillion dollar lattice. In 2012, Dr. Nikku Madhusudhan published a study that turned the astronomical community upside down. Janssen isn't made of water or granite, but concentrated carbon. Because its host star, Copernicus, possesses a much higher carbon-to-oxygen ratio than our Sun, the planet formed in an environment where oxygen was scarce. Under the crushing weight of 8 internal Earths, this carbon is squeezed into a crystalline lattice billions of times more compressed than anything on our planet. Researchers estimate at least 1/3 of this planet's mass, equivalent to 3 whole Earths, is likely composed of solid diamond and graphite. At current market prices, this cosmic hoard is worth an incomprehensible $26.9 nonillion. But this wealth is a terminal trap. The internal pressure is so immense, it would turn any human vessel into a microscopic speck of dust in milliseconds. Everything they believed up to this point was wrong. Number 5. The 17-hour year. We measure our lives in years of 365 days, but on 55 Cancri, time is a frantic, blistering race that defies the rhythm of nature. The planet sits just 0.015 astronomical units from its star, roughly 25 times closer than Mercury is to our Sun. This proximity forces the planet to complete a full orbit because it is so close, the equilibrium temperature hovers at an agonizing 2,700 Kelvin, or about 4,400 degrees Fahrenheit. This isn't just heat, it is a molecular forge that melts the very concept of a solid surface. At these temperatures, the carbon and silicates beneath your feet lose their structural integrity, turning the day side into a permanent gloating sea of molten lava. It is a world where the sun never sets, it only burns, and where the passage of time is marked by the constant evaporation of the planet's own crust into the dark void of the Cancer Constellation. Number 4. The breath of a ghost. For nearly 2 decades, astronomers looked at Janssen and saw a naked, scorched corpse of a world, its atmosphere supposedly sandblasted away by the violent solar wind. But in May 2024, the James Webb Space Telescope turned its chillingly precise MIRI instrument toward this diamond nightmare and discovered something that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Dr. Renyu Hu and his team at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory found evidence of a thick, heavy atmosphere. This is not a layer of life-giving nitrogen or oxygen, but a suffocating shroud of carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. It is a secondary atmosphere, potentially gassing out from the planet's own internal melting, creating a pressurized greenhouse that traps the 2,700 Kelvin heat in a cycle of eternal thermal agony. This discovery forces us to realize that even in the most hostile reaches of the galaxy, the universe finds ways to hold on to its toxic secrets, challenging every model we have for how. Number 3. The ocean of eternal noon. Because 55 Cancri A is tidally locked, it suffers from a gravitational curse that ensures one side of the planet never sees the stars. This hemisphere is a permanent, horizon-to-horizon ocean of liquid fire. According to thermal maps generated by the Spitzer Space Telescope, the day side is a boiling sea of molten silicates and carbon, an environment so extreme that the very concept of solid ground is a fantasy. There is no sunset to bring coolness, no rotation to offer a reprieve. Every square inch of this half of the world is a glowing liquid abyss that has remained in a state of melting for billions of years. It is a vision of hell made manifest by the laws of physics, where the rocks themselves flow like water under a sun that occupies more of the sky than we can possibly imagine. Number 2. The architecture of absolute shadow. On the hidden side of the planet, the universe, this is the night side, where the sun is a myth and the only light comes from the distant mocking stars. Here, the intense heat of the day side struggles to circulate, allowing the carbon to solidify into the crystalline structures we call diamonds. It is a landscape of cold, jagged graphite and diamond spires, a silent graveyard of precious gems that will never see the light. This extreme temperature gradient, which revealed a massive difference between the day and night sides, creates a world of mathematical extremes. A planet literally split in two by the sheer violence of its orbit. It is a realm of absolute silence and crushing pressure, where the carbon interior may finally find peace in a sky that remains forever black. Number 1. The Great Chemical Paradigm. The most terrifying since the groundbreaking 2012 study by Dr. Nikku Madhusudhan, we have been forced to face a reality where the very composition of a planet can be fundamentally wrong by our standards. Our solar system is rich in oxygen, giving us water and silicate rocks, but the system of Copernicus is a carbon-dominant wasteland. In this environment, the oxygen was consumed by carbon long before the planet ever formed, leaving a world built from carbides and pure diamond. It is a paradigm shift that proves super-Earths are not just bigger versions of our home. They are entirely alien chemistries that defy biological comprehension. As Dr. Sarah Seeger's research into exoplanetary atmospheres suggests, we are looking at a world that founded the study of carbon-rich geophysical models. It is a monument of indestructible carbon that reminds us just how rare and fragile our own oxygen-rich oasis truly is. In the face of a resource valued at $26.9 nonillion, the value of a human life or even an entire civilization feels small, fleeting, and utterly insignificant. While this diamond status remains a leading hypothesis subject to ongoing verification by the James Webb Space Telescope, the mere possibility reveals a universe more exotic. Number 4. The atmospheric resurrection. For decades, the scientific community believed Janssen was a naked world, a scorched pebble stripped of its protective gas by the violent radiation of its host star, Copernicus. We were wrong. In May 2024, a research team led by Dr. Renyu Hu at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory used the James Webb Space Telescope's MIRI instrument to discover something that defies the expected life cycle of a super-Earth. They found evidence of a thick secondary atmosphere. It is not a remnant of the planet's birth, but a ghostly bubbling shroud of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide constantly bleeding out from the planet's internal organs. This discovery suggests the diamond giant is actually breathing its own molten interior into space, creating a volatile envelope that should have been scoured away eons ago. It is a cosmic anomaly that forces us to rethink how these massive rocky worlds cling to their identity in the face of total stellar fury. Number 3. The ghostly carbon shroud. The chemistry of this atmosphere is a masterclass in cosmic dread. Using high-precision spectroscopy, astronomers detected the specific spectral fingerprints of carbon-heavy gases swirling around the planet. Imagine a sky not blue, but a shimmering heavy haze of lethal vapors, thick enough to exert a surface pressure that would turn a human body into a microscopic smear in milliseconds. This is a greenhouse effect gone rogue, trapping the heat of a star that sits 25 times closer than our Sun does to Mercury. This atmosphere is likely a toxic soup of volcanic gases, and it breaks our models of planetary evolution, proving that even a world so close to its star can maintain a... Number 2. The ocean of liquid fire. Because 55 Cancri A is tidally locked, its geography is divided into a permanent heaven and a permanent hell. The day side is a total surrender to the star Copernicus, an endless 2,400 degrees Celsius ocean of molten lava. There is no solid ground here. The surface is a global sea of liquid rock, where the heat is so intense it likely vaporizes heavy elements into mineral clouds that rain liquid stone back into the fire. Beneath this molten skin, the immense pressure of 8 Earth masses begins the alchemical squeeze, transforming carbon into a crystalline diamond lattice that extends for thousands of miles toward the core. It is a thermodynamic nightmare where the very ground you would stand on is a boiling slurry of liquid carbon and silicate, hiding a heart of pure pressurized diamond. Number 1. The infinite night. Turning away from the fires of Copernicus, the night side of Janssen holds a silent, frozen terror. In this shadow world, the temperatures drop significantly from the melting point of rock, potentially allowing for the formation of a dark, jagged crust of graphite and solidified silicates. The transition between the molten day and the frozen night is a hellish terminal of supersonic winds and massive thermal gradients. These winds roar across the planet's equator, attempting to distribute the impossible heat, creating weather systems of carbon snow and crystalline grit that would shred anything in their path. This is a world of $26.9 nonillion worth of treasure, guarded by a landscape so alien and so hostile that it defies biological comprehension. The existence of 55 Cancri A reminds us that we are merely guests in a universe that does not care about our definitions of value or survival. We look at a diamond and see wealth, but the universe sees a pressurized tomb of carbon orbiting a sun that is trying to evaporate it. We have only begun to scratch the surface of what these super-Earths are capable of. And Janssen is the ultimate proof that the most beautiful thing. If you want to keep looking at the universe the way it really is, make sure to subscribe. And let me know in the comments. The sheer existence of Janssen forces us to confront a reality where our most precious treasures are merely the byproduct of extreme indifferent physics. We estimate its value at $26.9 nonillion, a staggering figure that makes our entire global GDP of 100 trillion feel like a mere rounding error in the ledger of the cosmos. But in the shadow of the star Copernicus, located 40 light-years away in the Cancer Constellation, it is a world where the very ground is a pressurized crystalline lattice of carbon. Birth strained by gravity double that of Earth, and an internal pressure billions of times higher than our own atmosphere. We used to believe that all rocky worlds followed our blueprint: silicates, iron, and life-giving water. Dr. Nikku Madhusudhan's 2012 discovery shattered that terrestrial arrogance, revealing a universe that builds entire worlds out of the very materials we have fought and died for throughout human history. Even as the James Webb Space Telescope continues to peer through the planet's secondary atmosphere, discovering a thick, toxic veil of carbon monoxide and dioxide in May 20. These findings, led by researchers like Dr. Renyu Hu, challenge our initial image of a naked rock and replace whether Janssen is a diamond heart wrapped in burning gas or a steam-choked silicate hell. The existential lesson remains the same. The universe is not a garden built for our comfort. It is a sprawling, terrifying factory of anomalies. It is a cosmic anomaly that turned a theoretical possibility into a physical, crushing reality. Janssen is a monument to the fact that out there, in the deep dark of the observable universe, the laws of chemistry and pressure are writing stories we can barely read. It is a final, cold reminder of our profound insignificance. We are soft, carbon-based organisms clinging to a fragile, wet rock, gazing across the void at a crystalline titan that would vaporize our physical forms in a heartbeat. This diamond planet doesn't offer us wealth or a future home. It offers perspective, the hard, crystalline realization that we are not the masters of the cosmos, but merely its most fragile and curious observers. We are looking into the face of a world that defies biological comprehension. If you want to keep looking at the universe the way it really is, make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments.